Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Warren Harding High School here in Warren, Ohio. We have a district championship matchup in Division II in Northeast 1 between Ursuline and Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Big matchup between two schools, which kind of a little similarities from last year. Ursuline played their district semifinal and final games in NDCL's gym, where they fell in the district final to Gilmore Academy after going up 12-0 early. NDCL hasn't had quite the same luck at getting that far into their rounds in recent history. But Ursuline, they haven't won a district title since 2017, and they're looking to get that back there today. Tim Corso, Chris Sigler with me. Chris, we have a really good matchup on tap today. I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely. Both teams coming in red hot. Nobody hotter than the Ursuline Irish. 9 straight victories right now, including the 3 to get here in the playoffs, 64-35 last time out over Streetsboro. They're averaging 66 points a game and only giving up 22. So they're doing something right at both ends of the floor right now. And to stay hot, they've won 15 of their last 16 games this year.
29 points jumps out at me, not because of Ursuline's defense, it's because of their offense, because Coach Gunther's a defensive-minded coach, but he likes to get up and down the court. And as much as you want to hold a team under 40, 30 points, when you're giving them a lot of possessions, it's very unlikely you'll do that. But 29 points is exactly what Coach Gunther wants. When they won the district the second time with that four-peat, they held a team under 30 every time. Maybe not the case here, but they're going to have a really good defensive performance today if they're going to win this game.
Absolutely. NDCL, these two teams are so alike, but they're so different as well. They're hot right now, too. They've won the 3 to get here as well. They lost their last 3 games of the regular season. So, really, they've righted the ship at the right time. Their 3 victories, they've averaged 66 points a night as well. They scored 70 against Edgewood the other day in their victory. But the flip side is they've given up 47 a night, too. So, they have to score to be able to stay in that win column, especially against a team like Ursuline.
And we're back here from Warren Harding High School, just about to announce the starting lineups. We'll run through them for both squads. First, for the visiting on the scoreboard, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, number 5, Angelo Tamburino will start off at guard. He's a junior. Number 13, Ryan Lepowski is also a junior guard alongside him. 15, Luke Keep, the sophomore guard, gets to start with 3 guards in the lineup. Mason Pescio, another sophomore, will be the 4th of 5 members, and Connor Hernan, the junior post player. So no seniors, Chris, for this NDCL team, and they got some experience, but not nearly the experience Ursuline has, and we were just making the point before the break that they're going to have to play some defense to beat this Ursuline team, but I think what makes Ursuline so tough is they can win a low-scoring defensive battle, or they can outscore you 70-72 or something of that nature.
Absolutely. Last time out, Connor Hernan led the way, 18 points, 8 boards for their squad, and Angelo Tamburino contributed 14 and 10, so a double-double for Tamburino. And these guys are filling in for their leading scorer who's out with a knee injury, Evan Duggar. He's lost for the season, so really they've had guys step up at the right time here in the postseason, and they're going to walk into this hornet's nest here to take on Ursuline, it's like we would say, because
it's basically a home game for Ursuline.
Absolutely it is. And it's just a tough environment to come into if you're the NDCL squad.
And it's tough when you talked about how they lost the last 3 games of the regular season, and coaches will say all the time, we want to be peaking towards the end of February because that's when the regular season starts winding up and getting into tournament play. You want to be peaking right before the tournament starts. They did not. They did the exact opposite, and they still rallied and made it all the way here, and not just in close games. They've had 2 blowouts the last 2 games they played, and that's pretty impressive considering how they ended the season. Yep. And you mentioned their post player in Hernan, the junior, who had 18 last game. That's a big matchup with him and Jaden Payne, because Jaden Payne, 6'6", he had 26 last game against Streetsboro. Whoever wins that matchup could really dictate the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. Jaden Payne's been doing it all season long. He's such a force inside to deal with, and he's such an athletic specimen that it's hard to match up against him because you have to be able to go out and get him as well as stay inside because he's so strong inside as well. It sometimes takes 2 defenders to slow him down, which will create a mismatch outside for Gunther and the other guards, which really they look forward to.
And I wouldn't be surprised if right away when Payne gets the ball in the post, they have one guard on that strong side or weak side come over to help. And Jaden Payne is very good at passing out of the post. And if he wasn't when he was younger, he definitely learned to, because every game he sees pressure from double teams, triple teams, whatever it is. And he needed to learn to pass out of the post. He did. And now that he's done that more and more, the better that Team Ursuline is for it because they got all these guards who can shoot the ball. And so we're going to get you over to the Ursuline lineups real quick. For Ursuline, number 1, Gino Luceni, the senior guard, will start off the starting lineup. Number 2, Jalen Gunther, one of 2 freshmen who start. Deshaun Will, the junior guard. Number 10, gets to start in the backcourt alongside Gunther and Luceni. Noah Bell, another freshman, starts for Ursuline, number 11. And we talked about Jaden Payne, the senior forward. 2 freshmen and 2 seniors, along with a junior in the starting lineup. And when I was doing the game with Eric last game, we talked about how freshmen in this big environment, we'll see how they react. Both Gunther and Bell did a really good job of handling that pressure for a district semifinal matchup, and same with Payne and Luceni. It's going to be a really good balance in the act when you got a lot of young guys and a lot of old guys.
Absolutely. And you know what? Everybody focuses on Payne and Luceni for good reason, but it's the freshmen that stick out. Jalen Gunther's really taking control of this offense all season long. He's so fun to watch at the guard position, lightning fast, and you got to keep an eye on him all
from NBA range.
Absolutely. But to me, it's Noah Bell. I think he's the key factor. You know, you talk about Payne being able to go outside, come inside. Bell, he gets out and he can get in transition in a hurry, and their defense can turn into transition offense a lot of the times, and he's the recipient of that too, because he'll get to one end or the other in a blink of an eye.
And then come in the summertime, actually, I was talking to Coach Gunther when I saw him, and he said, you know what, this Bell kid is a freshman, is probably our hardest worker, and he's certainly been one of those players. He's had some really good moments. And last game, when me and Eric were doing it, he got into foul trouble early. He had 4 fouls in the third quarter. He still finished with 10 points and a number of boards. The fact that he could keep himself composed and Coach Gunther even trusted him to go out there shows how important he is to this team. And we also can't forget the last freshman, Jace Ricardo, who comes off the bench, 6'4" guard. He can shoot. He's long, athletic. They cause a lot of problems all around.
Absolutely, they do. And I'm glad you brought up depth. Depth is always an issue when you get farther and farther in the postseason. And Ursuline's been tested with this depth with foul trouble. They went down to East Liverpool a couple weeks ago, got a little bit of foul trouble, and their depth really came through for them. Absolutely.
And they won by significantly amount of points. It wasn't like a squeaked it out, which shows Coach Gunther's teams are always going to be probably the best conditioned team you'll see because of their big court and the fact that he wants to play that to their advantage. You might see NDCL try slowing things down early if they start getting a little out of control because most teams can't run with Ursuline. Maybe teams like Mooney who have a big court too. But other than that, you're not going to get many teams who can.
Absolutely, and that's one of my keys to the game here tonight is for Ursuline, can they use that defense to lead to this transition offense they like to use so effectively?
So effective.
And it just gets out in front of teams, and they have to keep up with them. And that wears the other team down. We've seen it numerous times this year, and they really start making mistakes because of that, and they feed off of that energy.
And that might not happen in the second quarter, maybe not in the third, but come down in the fourth quarter, it'll definitely start wearing on teams. And without your best player, with one man down for NDCL, depth is even more of a problem now. We'll see how they handle it. If they can stay out of foul trouble, they might have a chance to not get outrun because they can keep their guys fresh. But if they get in a little bit of foul trouble, keep an eye to see if Ursuline keeps trying to push the pace.
Well, and that's what one of my keys for NDCL is, can they keep this game within 10 points through 3 quarters? And that should be a goal for this squad to give themselves a chance to get to the fourth quarter because let's face it, Ursuline's like a thoroughbred. They just get out in front and good luck trying to catch them.
Exactly.
If you can stay with them to the third turn of the race, you can give yourself a chance. And when I say stay with them, I mean within 10 points because really that's about the only chance NDCL has is to stay within striking distance. They fall down by close to 20 at halftime.
You can't get
It's really going to be a
No.
tough road to hoe.
You cannot get that back because it's exactly you're going to be tired.
Yep.
And if you're within 10 points, you got a chance. And if you get to the fourth quarter, say like I said, within 10 points, now maybe you can slow it down a little bit. It's not a ton of points you need to get. You can chip away over 8 minutes. But if you try running with Ursuline in the fourth quarter, it probably won't work out well. And another thing you'll probably see from Coach Gunther, as his defense always does, they're going to be up in your grill. They won't let you hold that ball. Because that's a talk that we've talked about recently with tournament play. Some teams have held the ball for a while in certain games. Coach Gunther will not have any of that because he likes to pressure by nature, and it's going to turn into them not being able to hold the ball.
You know, you get to this stage, and this is the first time NDCL has ever been in a district championship game in school history. So you always wonder how experience plays out. This Ursuline squad's been here, done that. They were here a year ago, and they lost to Gilmore Academy and sent them home. Trying to get to the regional for the first time since 2017. I was able to talk to Coach Gunther briefly in the hallway before the game. He said, you know, his kids are really looking forward to this game. They're challenged. they're hungry. The upperclassmen are hungry to get over the hump with this game tonight. And he said an interesting point is the freshmen that they rely on really don't know. They really don't know. And I kidded with him. I said, that's not really a bad space to be in. He goes, you're exactly right. They don't understand the nerves that can come with it. They're here to play basketball, and that's what they're going to do tonight.
And you took the words right out of my mouth, get over that hump. I've been seeing this team play last X amount of years since I was at Ursuline. And, of course, that hump is haven't gotten there since I was in 8th grade, and I'm 20 now. Like, it's been a while. And in the freshman point you made, too, they don't know the struggle that have been to get over that hump. They're out there playing. The only one who probably does is Jalen Gunther, who's been around the program his whole life. But even then, nothing faces the kid who's the leading scorer and leading playmaker as a freshman.
Absolutely.
We're almost underway. Payne will tip off with Hernan. Should have a good matchup between the Irish and Lions. Hernan wins the tip, and NDCL starts off with the ball. It's Lepowski guarded by Gunther, top of the key.
Right away, man-to-man defense for this Irish squad. No surprise here early on.
Pescio trying to drive on Bell, gets him in the post. Looking for somewhere to go with the ball, deflected by Bell and stolen away, kicked out to Will. Will looking to push the pace. Will drives up off the glass a little out of control, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Lion basketball. Sean Will is averaging about 6 assists a game. Didn't see a window to kick it there. Tried taking a little out of control shot, but not a horrible shot selection to start the game. You're trying
really.
to test.
Took the ball to the hoop just like you'd expect them to do, and they come out with this full court man-to-man pressure just to allow NDCL to speed up a little bit.
And right there, that's what happens. Ursuline, their defense, they were kind of blitzing the ball screen, doubling off the screen, and I left Hernan wide open in the post. Luceni fouled him trying to help, and it's on the floor, so it won't be 2 points, but
good head fake right there underneath to get Luceni in the air. The first one on the senior.
Gets it inbounds, nearly stolen away, and is taken away. Gunther has it. Good contest by Luceni on the inbounds. Will run the offense. He gets it over to the wing in Luceni.
It'd be interesting. You always get interested how much patience they use. They go inside right away to a familiar player.
And Shaden Payne, and that's a little curl cut, get him open on the run, and he took it with his right hand. And he's a lefty, but he's pretty good with his right hand too. That one is off the glass, missed. Put back is good. Nice fall by Hernan. And if you're not going to box out, that's what's going to happen against a good team. And that ball is stolen away. 2 points the other way, or Lepowski, 4-2.
And it's NDCL speeding the game up here early on to get Ursuline to make the early mistakes.
Right there, a little busted coverage. Luceni drives, and he gets that one to go. Trading baskets right off the bat. We have 6:25 and counting remaining, and already 8 total points.
Good strong move by Luceni to the hole, uses that baseline effectively. And you're seeing the NDCL drive to the basket right now. They're not afraid to take the ball to the hoop. In fact, all of their points the other night against Edgewood in the first half came within the arc, the three-point line. So they were 0 of 6 in that first half. So that's going to be their goal, is to earn every basket inside and not take the easy shot from outside.
That ball is sent back by Payne, but gathered on the miss by Hernan. He gets it back for 2. That's a hustle play right there, and it's 6-4. That ball is nearly stolen away. Payne spins in the post, and he gets it right above the rim. Both teams playing fast.
NDCL took control of the glass against Edgewood in their last game, and really they're doing it so far early on against Ursuline.
3-point on the way. First of the game, that rims out and is going to be rebounded by the Lions. Keep pulls from 3. He misses, rebounded by Gunther, and Gunther doesn't have numbers, but he's pushing it. Gunther attacks off the glass, and they're going to call a charge going the other way.
Good play by Pescio to step in front of Gunther, who gets his first foul. Team second here of the first quarter. And you can see Ursuline playing with a little bit of tempo right now, maybe a little ahead of themselves and what they really want to do. And NDCL is actually the ones being more physical at their offensive end, keeping each and every possession alive.
They've already got a number of offensive rebounds, which is the way you can beat a team with a lot of size, is by hurting them on the glass.
Absolutely.
Keep gets it. They're going to call a travel on the catch. Keep didn't get his feet set before he dribbled, and it's going to go back to Ursuline.
See immediately they're using that ball screen out top, trying to create space for their guards, keeping Bell and Gunther away as far as they can.
We're going to get a sub in for Ursuline. Bell's going to check out in favor of the sophomore Miles Miller. That'll be the first substitution of the game for Ursuline. We'll also get a substitution in for the Lions. Keep will come out, and he'll get Brendan Hernan, the sophomore brother of Connor Hernan, in.
The Hernan brothers have good size underneath right there, as you can see on the floor, so that could be a matchup problem for Ursuline.
Ursuline's size comes on the wing. They have 4 wings and a forward. And that ball is going to be in, but it's not going to count. And like you mentioned, it could be a matchup problem for being in the post, because down low, those 2 Hernan brothers will be down low. Luceni's just as tall as them, but Luceni's a wing. He's not going to be playing down low as much.
Absolutely. It's something to watch when they're on the offensive end. That first foul going to go on Lipowski. That's his first, team's first.
Run set for Gunther. Thought about lobbing it into Payne. He's going to work on his man. Will has it. Guarded. Pulls up from deep 2. Off the rim. Short. Rebounded by the Lions. That's Hernan. Pushes it ahead. And 2 more. 8-6. And they're just getting out and running. They throw it ahead. Nearly thrown away. Miller on the catch from Luceni. And that one rattles around. Took forever, but it finally fell. Our first 3-point basket of the game goes to Miles Miller. That's a big one for him. He missed about 4 of those against Streetsboro in their last game. A good confidence booster for the sophomore right out the gate.
I think it's just a big basket right there for this team. You know, they're losing the 50-50 balls right now. The NDCL is creating opportunities, as that's another opportunity as Tamburino is going to go to the line for 2.
That was Miller picking up the foul. Miller got driven on, and that's one of the things that Coach Gunther emphasizes the most. Do not let you drive. Do not let anyone drive on you, because that's how either A, you foul him, or B, sucks the defense in, kicked it out for a wide open 3. And that's a coach's pet peeve, especially a defensive coach's pet peeve, is letting someone drive. First shot is off the mark and missed. It is checking in Ricardo, and Payne will come out. Second one is good. So he splits the pair, and Tamburino ties the game at 9. Luceni attacking strong underneath, and they're going to call a kickball. Luceni to inbounds underneath the basket, gets it into Will. Gunther finds Luceni on the flash, puts it up from mid-range, and that's good.
Good elbow shot by Luceni right there. It's a high percentage field goal attempt as he drains it. And Irish open up a 2-point lead.
A little off balance, but that just shows you the body control that he has. That ball is stripped out of bounds. It will stay with NDCL. And Mangaluzzi lost that ball. Ursuline's insistent that was off of him, but it's going to stay with the Lions.
Lions are doing a great job of getting to the basket on offense, as this take right here.
That one's missed off the rim. It's going to be rebounded and put up off the mark. Another offensive rebound for the Lions. And on the ground, fighting for the 50-50 balls. And a timeout taken by Ursuline and Coach Gunther. And that's a tough one, Chris, because you really can't see who has possession. They were trying to tie Miller up, but the ref felt that Ursuline had possession when Coach Gunther was calling a timeout. And that's a big timeout to get the ball, because now you can make it a 2-possession game with a bucket. So we'll take a quick break here on YSN Live. Exciting 11-9 lead for Ursuline early on in this district championship matchup. We're back here from Warren Harding High School in district championship between Ursuline and Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Lions lost the ball off of a couple of missed shots. Got a couple offensive rebounds, but Ursuline was able to get possession. Ursuline beats the full court pressure. Luceni thought about the 3, kicks it back to Will. Ursuline's going to slow things down right here.
One of the few times we've seen a break in the action, either team slowing it down.
Looking to drop a play for Gunther. Gunther gets it off the catch, and he makes that 3-pointer. Barely grazed the net. Ursuline with a 5-point lead.
Good looking stroke right there by Gunther. All the confidence in the world to drain it, and he did.
Hernan looking to work on Payne. Picks up his dribble, stolen away by Luceni. Luceni with a nice double clutch, and that's good. 7 unanswered from the Irish, and this is what you need to kind of limit if you're NDCL. Don't let it be a 14-0 run. Make it a 10-5 run. Keep them within striking distance. Almost gets stripped by Will. Driving, off the glass, missed. Rebound, Payne, and Ursuline trying to get out and run.
That's a great observation, and you're right. All of a sudden, the offense is shut off for NDCL.
And Will nearly banks it in. A little out of control in transition.
And the transition is what's leading this charge right now for Ursuline. We talked about it before the game. At the defensive end, they're doing the job. Off of the misses by NDCL, they're finally getting the rebounds, limiting the Lions' opportunities on offense.
This is Mangaluzzi right here. Pulls up, drains it. A big shot, 16-12. Another 3 on the way from Gunther. That one's missed, can't answer back. Rebounded by the freshman Ricardo. He gets it over to Will, who swings it over to Luceni from the top of the key. Off short, rebounded by Ricardo again. Gunther has it. Gunther behind the back, underneath the Payne, and Payne can't corral it, and it's going to be Lion basketball going the other way.
Good job hitting the offensive glass and hustle by Ricardo to keep the possession alive.
3 on the way, drained it again. Mangaluzzi back-to-back threes, and it's a 1-point Ursuline lead.
Well, you talked about weathering the storm, and they've done that right there with back-to-back three-pointers from Mangaluzzi, and all of a sudden they find themselves down just a point.
Payne gets it, high post. Puts it in, off the glass, but no good. They're going to call 2 shots for Payne, and Payne did a really good job at the free throw line against Streetsboro in their last game. He's a very solid 70% free throw shooter on the year, but right now you got to hope that he can consistently make 2 shots at a time because they're going to be hacking him a whole lot, especially down the stretch when their guys are a little more tired.
First one on Hernan.
Here of the game. Not a lot of fouls so far on either team. Like we mentioned, 4 on Ursuline, 2 on the Lions towards the end of the first quarter.
They're not, but all of a sudden, the Lions are in the double bonus here for the next minute and 18. So any points they can get, they're going to take them, that's for sure.
And Payne misses the second one, so stays at a 2-point lead. Pescio gets it over. 3 on the way from Lepowski. He misses. And a foul against Ricardo underneath. He gave a little shove in the back to Hernan.
That's going to send Hernan to the line for 2. That's what I talked about. They're going to give him the opportunity to stay close or even tie this basketball game right now.
And Miller's going to check back in, which I will guess will be for Jace Ricardo, as Ricardo and Miller kind of serve the same role for Coach Gunther. Get in, defend, and rebound, and then knock down your open shots. Right there, you notice that Ricardo wasn't rebounding on that possession. He got boxed out. Miller, we have no problem putting someone who's just as talented as in the game. And that's what you can do with all that depth. We also have Jared Klusenik who checked in recently.
They're checking the total foul situation. It indeed is the 5th foul. Bonus time for the Lions.
Hernan's first free throw is up, and that is nothing but net.
If you're NDCL, you got to be happy right now with the ability to hit the outside shot from Mangaluzzi. I talked about it. They were 0 for 6 in the first half, the last game out against Edgewood. So those are shots that they're actually going to need in this game to keep this ball game close.
Ball is short and can't tie the game. Klusenik gets the rebound. He pushes it ahead to Bell. Bell pulls up from 3. Bell gets nothing but the bottom of the net, so goes out of bounds. And right there, maybe a little bit of anxiousness from the freshman trying to make something happen. He had 2-on-1 with him and Miller. Could have dumped it off or could have kicked it for a 3. But that's one word you say, okay, correct it next time.
Lions did a great job to keep Payne off the glass right there. Good job by Pescio underneath to box out as we got 50 seconds remaining.
Right here. Sawicki is underneath, kick to the corner, and that one's going to be out of bounds. Looked like off the backboard. And it'll be Ursuline basketball with 42 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And this is a high-scoring first quarter. And like we talked about, Ursuline can win a game by giving up 30 points and only scoring 35 or outscoring a team. But right here, NDCL, they put up a lot of points in their last 2 games. They scored nearly 80 in each of them, actually, and won by double figures. So even though they're not known for their offensive prowess, especially without one of their best players, they've shown that they can do it recently.
You know, and it's always amazing in the first quarter how each team can weather the storm, weather the nerves, because once they get to the second quarter and then into the second half,
start to settle in.
It finally starts to become a basketball game.
And right now, Ursuline needs to weather the storm of not controlling the glass.
Yeah.
NDCL needs to weather the storm of any big run Ursuline has gone on, and they have. Gunther got the screen from Payne. Pulls up on a dime and gets hit in the arms. It's going to be 3 free throws for arguably Ursuline's best free throw shooter.
That's going to be on Sawicki. You can almost see that coming as he was trailing Gunther around the screen. A little too much aggression from Sawicki, and he got caught. His first foul is going to send Gunther to the line for 3.
Chance to make it a 2-possession game. Gunther's first free throw is good. Second one rims out. So regardless, as long as Ursuline doesn't get an offensive rebound on this next shot, if it's missed, the Lions will have a chance to potentially tie the game before the quarter ends.
Absolutely. See what they do with this possession.
And the third one, is good. 3-point game.
It's always just as interesting, too, how Ursuline's retreated to the half-court defense here in the second part of this first quarter.
Gunther guarding Mangaluzzi. Mangaluzzi gets it back. That one's a little long. Luceni gets the rebound. Ursuline trying to get the last shot. Luceni nearly got stripped, but he got fouled and will be underneath. So you can run a little baseline out of bounds play and see what Coach Gunther wants to draw up here.
Second one on Sawicki as he picks up 2 quick ones here within the last minute of this first quarter. Let's see how that plays out. We talk about depth. Now all of a sudden one of your guards has 2 fouls for the Lions.
Gets it into Miller. Miller in the post to Payne. Payne, one-on-one.
Good move.
And that one is off. Rebounded. Heave at the buzzer. Nearly went in. Instead, it's going to be a 3-point lead for Ursuline after the first 8 minutes. A pretty eventful first 8 minutes here from Warren Harding High School. We had a lot of excitement in store. I'm pretty sure about that one, Chris. We'll see how it shakes out when we start the second quarter here on your Sports Network. And we're back here on YSN Live. Ursuline will start the second quarter with the ball. Luceni to inbound to Will.
Sawicki still on the floor for the Lions with those 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Gunther, a wide open 3 from the top of the key, misses it short. He gets his own rebound and throws it off. A little out of control, but he got the foul, and he's going to the free throw line once again.
Gunther a little bailed out right there on that shot attempt by the fouls. The Lions didn't box anybody out, and the ball found its way back to Gunther out top.
And the big rule about boxing out is the coaches will say, we don't care if the person who gets the ball. We just don't want your person to get the ball, because if all 5 people will say, my person's not getting the ball, then one of your players will end up getting it.
Absolutely. Lepowski, that's his second foul for the Lions as he's going to take a seat as Brendan Hernan returns.
Gunther gets both to go in a 5-point lead.
4 or 5 from the line so far as Gunther.
Mangaluzzi trying to work on Will. Spins, pitch back. Little 2-footer, and that finds the bottom of the net. That was a nice move from Keep, and he had the strength advantage on Gunther and used it to his advantage. Got to the rim, and it was all.
Still another take to the basket for the Lions, able to capitalize on. That's the first time Keep's done it. First field goal for him tonight.
And Payne with the right hook, and that's where you can't let Payne get ahead of steam. When he's got a couple steps to go and he's driving towards the basket, that right hook and that left hook that's so dangerous because he has a lot of control and all the momentum.
Such a physical force inside. I could see them going to him more often here in this second quarter.
Especially the more Ursuline starts to wear down on those bigs if it does happen. Keep guarded by Gunther. Hernan gets the foul called against Payne.
Payne just a step slow on the baseline, didn't beat the dribbler to the spot. He gets the blocking foul.
Just his first foul.
First foul on Payne, team's first here of the second quarter.
Something to watch out. If he gets a second foul before the end of this half, he might rest him for a couple minutes to kind of keep him available for down the stretch. That ball was missed off the glass. Didn't get much of the rim, and Gunther's going to have it looking ahead. He kicks it ahead to Luceni. Luceni wide open and a good find from Gunther. Now a 7-point Ursuline lead, and once again, the Lions need to try to weather this storm because they're down 7. A stop and a bucket can make it a 10-point game.
Those are just the buckets you can't give up if you're NDCL right now. You have to make Ursuline work for each and every one of their field goal attempts.
And Hernan loses that ball in the gather through. And going to be Ursuline basketball. He got Payne to jump with the ball fake, and he had a chance to attack Miller at the rim with an advantage, but he just lost the ball.
Connor Hernan goes back to the bench as Lepowski returns for the Lions. They come back out in this full court pressure still, which is a little bit surprising to me. I don't know about you. It limits their ability just to keep Ursuline in front of them, as they're so good in transition and being able to run when they want.
I agree, and a lot of the times teams will pick up full court like this. If there's a shot clock, to kind of take away as much of the shot clock as you can. That's the travel right there.
Bad break.
But there's no shot clock in high school basketball, so at that point you're just expending energy if you're not trapping.
And really, today I haven't really seen a whole lot of quality shots Ursuline's attempted in a half-court set. They've had a couple threes. Gunther's three-point shot right in front of us really, I think, was the best-looking shot we've seen good play out of bounds.
As Will misses that off the inbound pass from Luceni, and he can't get the rebound back. It's going to be Lion basketball with exactly 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
So more to that point, they've done a great job in the half-court defense, have the Lions, which shocks me that they're sticking with this full-court pressure.
Keep drives, pulls up from the mid-range. He knocks it down. And right now the Lions are knocking down their shots at will.
Boy, each and every time it seems like the Irish are just going to pull away. The Lions just make a couple big baskets to keep it within striking distance. And we talked about it. That's what they have to do.
They have to do, and that's what championship teams will end up doing if they're going to win a game. Gunther from NBA range misses it short, rebounded by Luceni off the glass and good. A grown man move, and Luceni puts the lead back up to 7.
Boy, those are the kind of plays that really spark you as a team. Good offensive rebound by Luceni, as he has 10 here in the first half.
And that's why some collegiate coach is going to be very lucky next year to get a 6'3" guard who also rebounds and can shoot the ball, do a little bit of everything, as that was a foul right there on Luceni.
That's going to be his second, team second, as Bell returns, replacing Miller. Bell got a good break and good breather there, not coming back on. Let's talk about a benefit for Coach Gunther. You're bringing a player like Bell back in off the bench with 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Very fresh. Yep.
Attacking, and that's a travel.
Yep.
He gathered and then took 2 more steps after the initial step, so you're not going to get away with that. Maybe in the NBA, Chris will get away with that one, but
good
not
defense
right
and a timeout for
on the
NDCL.
Floor. So we got a 7-point lead for Ursuline, but NDCL is not going away anytime soon, it appears. We'll see how this shakes out with the last 5 minutes of the second quarter here on your sports network. And we're back here on YSN Live. Tim Corso, Chris Sigler alongside me, and Ursuline will have the ball with a little full court pressure from the Lions with 5:04 left to go in the first half.
You know, this 7-point spread is usually that tipping point that Ursuline, good hustle right there, just stepped on the line.
Mangaluzzi almost had it. If he would have not stepped on the line, he might have had it back to a teammate.
You got to feel like that's the threshold. That's, you know, NDCL really can't let it get any farther than that, because once it does, you talk about it, all of a sudden now it's 14, now it's 18, and before you know it, it's way out of hand.
And that one's out of bounds off of NDCL again. And I don't know if you noticed, after Bell had trouble finding a guy to get it into, Gunther said, okay, Gino Luceni, you're handing the ball in now because you're a senior. I trust you more, and rightfully so.
Tamburino's doing a good job for NDCL, applying pressure, causing problems here for the Irish.
Right now, Ursuline finally, third time's the charm to get it over half court. Gunther gets it back over to Luceni. Luceni gets it in the post.
I like this.
Here's
right
Payne,
here.
left hand, a little short, rebounded by Bell. Bell gets it blocked by Hernan.
Look at
and Luceni once again making the hustle plays, and Gino Luceni with another bucket.
Great play by Luceni to take that away from Hernan and extend this lead to 9.
Luceni's got 12. Ball was lost again. Gunther gets it, looking to push it ahead. Kicks it, Will. Three-pointer on the way, off the mark and rebounded by Keep. Keep kicks it over. And no good on the shot attempt, and a foul.
That was a tough shot attempt too. Really not really a good shot if you're the Lions in that situation. They didn't have numbers and they forced it up. And now that's the third foul on Lepowski here in the first half.
And that's where you want your shot to come from, but not from that kind of body angle of you're throwing it kind of behind yourself. It's not a orthodox shot, and then a frustration foul trying to get the ball back from Bell.
And I'm watching the Lions coach right here talk to Lepowski on the bench. He said, all we needed in that situation was a jump stop and a good-looking shot. If you don't have it, you pass it back out. Instead, he settled for a little bit of the circus Euro step, and really not a good thought process in that situation.
And at all levels, even college, NBA, you're going to hear coaches say playoff too, because that's fundamental. You don't have to worry about getting called for a travel if your initial read's not there.
That's great defense right there by Hernan. The crowd doesn't like it.
Over and back.
But he did a great job of stepping out on the pressure, cutting off Gunther, and really great job for a post player to get out there and do that on somebody like Gunther. Really good fundamentals.
And they blitz the screen. Now, you tell me, Chris, I don't know what the rule is if any part of your body goes across the backcourt or if it's the ball, because the ball didn't look like it did, but Gunther's right foot did.
It doesn't matter. Here's the rule. All three have to go across, but any one of the three touches the line, it's over and back.
And Payne did get the ball back for Ursuline, and so the turnover didn't cost Ursuline any points. Gunther with the floater, misses it short, rebounded by Bell. Bell off the glass, missed, rebounded by Payne, and Payne gets called for the walk. He wanted a foul, but
good hustle underneath by Payne, by Bell. They just couldn't finish the deal. And I want to go back to that rule real quick. I kind of talked through it pretty fast. When you bring the ball up and you cross half court, both feet and the ball have to cross half court. To be a backcourt violation, any one of the three touches the line, it's a backcourt violation.
It might be different in NBA or college, but that's the rule here, regardless of what anyone else has, and it's a turnover.
I believe the same is in the college game. I don't really know about the NBA game. Their rules are just a whole nother set and a whole nother world.
And everything. Oh, it was a nice cut. Off the glass and a charge taken by Bell. That's what Bell does well, is he takes those charges and sacrifices his body, and right there was a really nice cut. And that's a lot that we can do against a team that plays aggressive defense man-to-man, is if you cut on like a backdoor when they're really pressuring you, face guarding, you can get wide open layups, and that would have been a wide open layup had Bell not stepped in for the charge.
That's a good play. We've seen it numerous times. They've lost control of the basketball going to the hoop time and time again here in the first half.
That's the part about being sped up, and we'll see what this kind of pressure gives Ursuline. Ursuline gets it in. Luceni has it. They've got some numbers, 3-on-2. Luceni gather off two, and they call him for the travel. That's the borderline jump stop, but the ref thought he walked, and it'll be NDCL basketball.
That's a good call underneath. And really good defense caused that. Luceni really had nowhere to go. I think he wanted to go up for that shot, but the defender was right there, tried to create the space, and committed the turnover.
Here's Pescio. Going to try backing down Will. Gets it in the post. Hernan has it. Back over to Pescio. Rejects the screen. Then uses it.
Good defense.
Pounded by Will. Underneath, Hernan. Off the glass and good. Ricardo couldn't alter the shot. And it's a 7-point game.
Boy, they needed that bucket in a bad way, as they hadn't scored in some time.
And Will off the acrobatic pass from Klusenik. Misses it. Rebounded by Bell, but stripped away. Tamburino, 2-on-1. Nearly blocked from behind. Ricardo gets the rebound. He's looking ahead. Gets the Will. Will underneath the Bell, and good ball movement at its finest. Noah Bell from Deshaun Will.
Great transition. Good look from Will to Bell. Increasing this lead back to 9. That's the kind of basketball that gets a crowd excited all day long.
And Luceni falls on the floor, kicks it ahead to Klusenik. Under to Ricardo. Ricardo off the glass and good. And timeout. And Gino Luceni and the rest, they're making their big impact here. Luceni with the steal after he poked the ball loose. And that's a 50-50 ball you have to win. And now Ursuline's up by 11.
Good transition, easy layup, increasing this lead to 11. And they have NDCL on the ropes here just before halftime.
Back-to-back electrifying plays. Gets the opposing team to call a timeout, and we'll take it with them here on YSN Live. Ursuline with all the momentum right now, just under 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Chris, these last minute 50 seconds are going to be really crucial for both teams.
Absolutely. NDCL had a layup 2 possessions ago. I'd say that's the first bucket they'd had in some time, and before you could blink, Ursuline turned turnovers into points quickly, and great transition basketball. by the Irish, as we saw two fantastic passes leading to good layups, and it got this crowd on their feet.
An 11-point lead is the result. Both teams are trying to do two very different things. Ursuline's trying to extend this lead in a really hard deficit for the Lions, and the Lions, after this layup, get it back under double figures. They're trying to keep within striking distance. You said within 10 through 3 quarters, and they're trying to keep it at that.
First bucket for Mangaluzzi in some time.
Ricardo from the corner, misses it, rebounded, and it's thrown off of Bell out of bounds, and a heck of an effort by Mangaluzzi there. Bell probably got the rebound, but it got stripped from his hands by Mangaluzzi, and right off Bell out of bounds.
Really a heads-up play by Mangaluzzi, and a big possession right here for the Lions. They have to come through with a quality shot to give themselves an opportunity to keep this lead below 10.
They're going to call a block on Ursuline. That's going to be on Bell.
Just the first one on Bell, I believe. That's number 2 on Bell. Team's third here of the first half.
And a miscommunication, and that's going to be out of bounds. They're calling it Ursuline basketball. I thought there might have been deflection, but it's going to be.
I think they're going to give possession to Ursuline as we have a discussion here. As the far side official, which is the C official, thought that ball was tipped because the ball went out of bounds on his line, but he was overruled, and the Ursuline's going to take over here with 1:12 remaining.
It was hard to tell from our angle because you had 3 people there, and it didn't look like anyone touched it, but it could have even grazed someone's shoe. Ricardo checks out. Yeah, Payne in now. Will gets it and beats 2 defenders. Now numbers for Ursuline. Bell in the corner for 3. Misses it long. And it's going to be rebounded by Hernan.
A little bit of a forced shot right there by Bell.
Mangaluzzi fires it to the corner. Open 3. Passes it up. Takes it. Blocked by Luceni. Taken by Hernan. And he gets fouled in the bucket.
What a break right there for the Lions. Hernan just in the right spot at the right time. Able to capitalize and get to the line for the and one.
Adding a little bit of insult to injury. You got the block and you couldn't come up with the ball that was just a bad bounce, and then the foul after the bucket.
That's what I mean, just at the right place at the right time. And Luceni, talk about a bad break, picks up his 3rd foul of the first half. So he's going to take a seat for the remaining 48 seconds to go.
That's a tough one for him because if you had 2, you could live with it. But the 3rd one, he probably starts the second half.
And he made such a great defensive play as that ball's knocked out of bounds, and another chance for the Lions to stay in this basketball game.
And if they get a bucket here, whether it's a 2 or 3-pointer, you're now down by 4 or 5 points, and that's a big deal.
It's just amazing how they were able to stick with their plan and stay within striking distance. Because really, it has that feeling that Ursuline's been up by about 30 right now, the way that this has gone, the way the crowd's into the game.
And an offensive rebound from Brendan Hernan, and just like that, 5-point game with 30 seconds left in the half.
It's the second chance points they gave themselves at in the first quarter.
And that's what kept them in the game.
Absolutely. You haven't seen it in the second quarter till now, right when you need it. Hernan has come up with 2 big baskets here in the last 30 seconds.
Ursuline gets it in, breaks the pressure a little bit, and thrown away by Bell, who was trying to get it over to Gunther. A little miscommunication. Gunther was expecting a bounce pass. He threw it over the head of the defender, and they just weren't on the same page.
Well, this pressure's really come through for the Lions here tonight, surprisingly against this Ursuline team. 20 seconds to go.
Chance to make it a 1-score game with a basket heading into the half. Keep has it off the dribble handoff, pulls up from the mid-range, and that's missed. Rebounded though, blocked by Payne, out of bounds. 6 seconds left, and Hernan thought he had an easy basket off the rebound.
I did too, and Payne came out of nowhere with the big block.
Gets it in. Mangaluzzi kicks. 3 at the buzzer. Misses it, and that's going to be the end of the half. A 5-point Ursuline lead, but the Lions have stormed back from down 11, only down 5. 2-possession game going into the half. And Chris, what do we got to see from both teams going into the second half? What adjustments do they have to make?
Well, NDCL, they just got to keep hitting the offensive glass. You may see them really tighten it up in that half-court defense. They're going to stick with this pressure because it's working. The bad part of that pressure for them, it creates numbers in transition for Ursuline. They're able to beat the 3 defenders in the upcourt to get down to the basket. They're mismatched on numbers, but they're going to stick with that. Ursuline, they got to keep doing what they're doing. Slow down a little bit on offense. A couple forced shots there at the end really kept NDCL. They're going to have to start boxing out. They're going to have to limit NDCL to one and done.
And if they don't start boxing out, maybe it doesn't cost them, but it definitely will keep the game interesting if they start trying to pull away again. Because if they box out, when they're up 11, they're probably up 15, 16 right now. Instead, they're not boxing out. They're turning it over, and now they're only up 5. And this is a game that it's anyone's game at this point, and you're a run to start the half from NDCL away from them being in the lead.
And what it does, too, is by NDCL getting more and more opportunities, bad things are going to start happening for the Irish. Foul trouble. Obviously, they're going to get more opportunities.
The confidence, too.
Yeah, that as well. You already got Luceni on the bench with 3 fouls. So that's something that they want to just nip in the butt right now at halftime. I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about.
And let's see if they can do that. We'll take a break here at halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half when we return on your sports network. And we're back here on YSN Live. Start of the second half of this district championship matchup between Ursuline and NDCL. About 35 seconds before we resume play, and a 5-point Ursuline lead. It's a little surprising, but also NDCL's played really well, especially on the offensive glass.
That's anybody who's talking about up in the stands where we're sitting is the ability of NDCL to offensive rebound and Ursuline just not being able to get it done defensively to limit the Lions to one and done. And that's everybody's feeling up here. They need to really hit the glass to give themselves a chance. I'm talking about the Irish here because NDCL, you talk about confidence right now. They got to have so much confidence going in that locker room. It was 33-20 at one point. And they're on the ropes. They ran off the last 8 points, and they ran off 4 points in 30 seconds down here on a couple key possessions.
And off of offensive rebounds, which gives you even more momentum and more feeling that you could do this.
Yeah.
And they're going to start each half. I believe the starters for each team are going to be in. Luceni will start with 3 fouls, and you kind of have to start him. This is your season if you don't win it. And NDCL with the ball.
I talked about one of the keys, staying within 10 to go to the fourth quarter, and they've done that well as it's only a 5-point game here to start the second half.
Lipowski has it guarded by Gunther. Man-to-man defense of Ursuline, kind of a matchup zone, if you will. Luceni contested the 3 in the corner, missed rebounded by Payne. Luceni has it, gets it over to Gunther.
Ooh, tough pass across court.
They're going to settle this one down and get it over to Deshaun Will.
You got to think that was the message in the locker room, too, to hit the glass as Payne really went up and got that board defensively. And they're going to take their time on offense right now and set this half-court set up.
Quality shot. Payne kicks it over to Luceni, trying to drive. Luceni, floater, runner, good. First point of the second half for either team, and comes from Gino Luceni. He's got 14.
Good start for the senior. He back here to start the second half with 3 fouls. Good quality runner in the lane.
One's keep, looking to get it inside. Lipowski.
They've gone 2-3 zone here, have the Irish here to start the second half. Interesting.
And blocked by Payne. Payne loses it out of bounds, though, and it's going to stay with the Lions.
They can cause some havoc out top with Gunther and Will in that 2-3 zone real quick. Can challenge the shooters quickly and cut it off inside. Good take on the baseline by Keep, but we're going to get a held ball.
And it's going to be Ursuline ball anyway, but now possession arrow does go to the Lions for the next jump ball, although it looked like Sean Will got a strip pretty quickly on that ball.
Sticking with this pressure defense are the Lions. They're not afraid to get beat in transition as they have time after time.
This trap evaded by Will single-handedly. Now Ursuline slows it down a bit. Don't want to make any mistakes that you can control.
Your coach got there. Just win the quarter, win this quarter. You put yourself in a good position to the fourth.
Payne posting up. Payne gets called for the walk, and it's going to be Lion basketball.
Good defense by Hernan right there to hold his ground, and Payne really didn't know what to do with his back to the basket. And if I'm Hernan, I got to remember that as he has a tough time turning and facing without using the dribble.
Shot, corner, missed, rebounded by Luceni. Looks ahead.
Another one and done.
Finds Gunther, and they're going to slow it down once again. Only 2 points between both teams for the first 2 minutes. It's rare to see something like that for a half. Gunther gets the Bell. Bell back over to Gunther. Gunther thought about the deep three. He kicks it. Luceni guarded by Tamburino. Gets a scoop shot up, misses it. Rebounded with one hand by Payne. He still gets it even though he was fouled.
It's a tough rebound by Payne.
And that was, yeah. You said tough. Couldn't believe he grabbed that with his left hand and while getting held on his back and his other arm.
Lepowski's got 4 fouls now for the Lions. As Tamburino did a little bit of reach around move there to try to knock the ball free, which allowed Lucente to get to the basket. They have to keep these ball handlers for Ursuline in front of them. If they want to try to stop them, they're just too good and too quick with the basketball to attempt a steal move like that.
Luceni, top of the key three on the way, misses it, and he's going to be rebounded by Hernan. Throws it ahead, and he throws it out of bounds. They're calling a foul first on Bell.
I saw it myself, and I thought they were going to get away with it.
They almost did, and
yeah,
ref got them tagged with the foul.
That's a good call. That's the third one on Bell here in the third quarter. So he and Luceni each with 3 as Bell heads to the bench.
Miller's going to take back his spot, and something to keep an eye on. Well, key players for Ursuline in foul trouble. Three deep from Keep, and he makes it.
Big basket right there.
And you said it. That makes it a 4-point game.
Hanging around are the Lions. We keep saying it. They just will not go away.
And they got their crowd into it. Ursuline with the ball.
Well, it makes you wonder. This team really looks like a well put together team. Just about 1 game over 500 record. Lost their last 3 games of the season. So really to put it together at the right time is amazing.
And Payne's right hook there, and he faced up, dribbled into the paint, and that's all she wrote there.
You saw his effectiveness right there, facing the basket. That's the strength of his game. If he has to catch it on the block with a back turn to the hoop, that's a trouble spot for them, and that's something NDCL is really going to have to try to emphasize. Good look.
That's a nice pocket pass underneath. Gets those 2 points right back. Both Hernans are making the impact in this one.
Keeping their fans in the game are the Lions. This effort, tremendous right now. Fans are chanting defense here, keeping this team inspired. Ursuline really taking their time on offense.
And with no shot clock, you can do that. And that's kind of the advantage you have, because they're not trying to hold the ball, they're just trying to get a good quality shot, and Luceni gets the quality shot.
But I think he's the only one right now with a lot of confidence.
And he's hunting his shot.
On the offensive end, and you can really tell that team really lacks confidence right now offensively.
And no call, missed the shot, but got it back. Keep lowered the shoulder. Gunther didn't get the foul call.
That was actually Tamburino.
Tamburino he lowered that shoulder. Gunther thought he might have got a charge out of it, but there was no call either way.
So here's what I'm saying. Just watch the overall attitude of this team. Nobody really has a lot of confidence right now for Ursuline offensively, other than Luceni. I'd like to see him come out and get the basketball, try to isolate him out top.
They do get it to him, but it's knocked away by Hernan, and a good anticipation there from the NDCL big. And that shot is up and good on the floater.
Wow.
2-point game, and everything the Lions are throwing up is going in, but then again, they're not really throwing them up because they're right in front of the basket.
They are, and that ball just kind of found the hoop for Tamburino to get this deficit to 2.
Will drives, gets fouled, nearly got it to go. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
That's something that they need right there, does Ursuline. Get the ball to the basket, confidence, have some confidence. He looked confident getting to the basket, got to give himself an opportunity, and that's what he's going to do right now.
And the next time he drives and they overhope because they think he can make that layup, dump it off underneath the paint, he should be wide open for an easy layup.
That's the second foul on Connor Hernan. You have to wonder, is the physicality inside from the Hernan brothers really Connor and Brendan causing a little bit of problems for Ursuline? These guys don't want to go in there with these guys.
And really not right now. They think, oh, we're, the biggest team that, no one's going to out-tough us, and then they're getting out-toughed right now as Will makes the first one. they haven't really been manhandled. Not to say they're getting manhandled right now on the glass, but they're not doing a very efficient job of getting these defensive rebounds. They haven't seen a team who's done this all year pretty much, besides Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary, and maybe Austintown Fitch in that overtime victory for the Falcons. But a one possession game right now could make it a 4-point game with a shot here, and Will converts both.
And you're just going to see the will of this Irish team right now. They haven't been challenged really of late, especially in the postseason. So right now, a little bit of gut check time. See what kind of team you have and see them step up right here in this third quarter.
And winning this game could get them a lot of confidence going into the regional, because they're a team that's capable of a lot of big things.
Absolutely.
A gut check like this could really help them.
Good
the ball's nearly
right
stripped, taken away. Sawicki blocked by Miller. Kluchnik rebounded it. He has it to Luceni. Luceni going to stop with the hesitation. Stops on a dime, and he dragged his foot, according to the ref. I couldn't really see his foot with all the bodies in the way, but he got called for the walk.
I could see him handling the basketball here a lot out top, really taking the ball to the hoop. With Gunther on the bench now here in the third quarter, and Luceni really has taken the offense on his back so far.
Got three reserves in right now, and Luceni and Will, the lone starters out there.
Luceni still with the 3 fouls. Here approaching 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Swarming zone here from Ursuline, trying to create some turnovers, and they get a turnover. Klusenik the other way. Klusenik creates the contact, gets it blocked out of bounds, but Ursuline will get the ball back.
You know, I like the no call there. He did create the contact. A lot of times you'll see an official just kind of anticipate the call, and they'll give the shooter the call. But that was a good job at no call. Absolutely. Good defense. I believe that was Hernan on defense. Just went straight up in the air and got the ball out of bounds and make Ursuline take it out on the baseline.
Klusenik off the inbounds play. Gets it to Ricardo, who swings it back to the top of the key for Deshaun Will. Will going to work on Tamburino. Kicks it. Ricardo steps into his shot and nearly made it, but it rimmed out. Tamburino looking to push it. Lost the ball. Klusenik dove on to the floor, and he slid out of bounds.
Klusenik's really provided a spark off the bench here late in this third quarter. The Irish struggling from the outside so far today. They really are settling for some shots. That was a good shot from Ricardo, actually. He had squared up, wide open. Why not take it?
And it was a good-looking shot. Just got unlucky, rimmed out.
Just hasn't gone their way so far from beyond the arc.
Ball stolen away. Luceni has it. Luceni kicks it over to Klusenik. Klusenik gets, I thought he got called for a travel for a second, but it was a timeout by Ursuline, and we'll take it with them here on YSN Live. Back here on YSN, a quick 30-second timeout from Ursuline with the ball. Going to have a sideline out of bounds. Gunther checks back in, so does Payne. Gets it into Luceni. Will kicks it to the corner and actually underneath, and Payne nearly got it to go. The first look initially was Gunther in the corner, but then when help came to that side, the read was find Payne on the block. He did, and Payne's going to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And I think Will saw him at the last minute. He just was standing there by himself, and all of a sudden Will said, well, here you go.
Yeah, wide open. Payne's first free throw is good.
See if the Irish stick to this 2-3 zone in the half-court set. It really hasn't hurt them so far. They're doing a good job of boxing out and limiting NDCL on the glass.
It's a swarming zone, too.
And it looks like it's out to the free-throw line is extended.
Gets it out top of the key. A deep 3 on the way. That one's long. Rebounded. Luceni gets it initially, and it's going to be out of bounds off of the NDCL. That was Mangaluzzi, and
boy, they don't stop, do they?
They just hustle everywhere.
They know that's what they have to do, and that's a good job by this coaching staff to inspire this team.
And whether they win this game or not, Chris, they can't say it's because of lack of effort.
There's no doubt about it.
Payne nearly got stripped, fouled on the steal attempt. 4th team foul. That one's on Pescio, yeah.
Number 1 on Pescio. 4th team foul.
Other than Lebowski with 4 fouls, you don't have a ton of guys in foul trouble right now if you're NDCL. As checking out right here was Pescio, who just committed the foul. 6-point game for Ursuline.
As Will's handling the offense out top right now.
Payne
Good
has
look
it,
into Payne.
spins, right hook, off. Hernan gets the rebound. Lepaski pushes it, corner, keep drives, baseline. They're swinging this ball around. Floater off the glass, rebounded by Payne. It's over to Deshaun Will.
Just under 20 seconds now. Take control of the basketball. Hold for this last shot, up 6.
Will drives, scoop off the glass, misses, rebounded by Payne. Payne puts it back with the right hand, and that's the end of the quarter. An 8-point Ursuline lead, excuse me. And that's the run they wanted.
Big bucket right there at the end for Payne. Gave NDCL a little taste of their own medicine to get this lead to 8.
And then NDCL was only down 2 not too long ago. Now they're down 8. Ursuline in a good spot entering the last quarter. And we're back on YSN. 8 minutes to crown a district champion here in the Northeast Ohio Region 1 of Division II from Warren Harding High School.
Looking for their first district crown since 17 are the Irish. Good opportunity this year.
And NDCL, their first district title game appearance, so of course their first district crown. Stolen away by Will right off the bat.
And a good move here. Slow it down. That's what they did in that third quarter.
You're not going to coach Matthew for slowing the game down with an 8-point lead or any kind of lead, especially in the last quarter. Gunther off the bounce, buries the 3. And Jalen Gunther extends it to 11 points. And Ursuline trying to put this one away early in the fourth.
Picked a great time to hit his second triple.
He
of the
strips
game.
him.
Good steal.
Gunther gets it back. Pops, 3. Off the rim, rebounded by Luceni. Keep gets it. Ahead, Tamburino gathers and gets it in, and a timeout called by NDCL.
Good timeout right there by the Lions. If this place was about to erupt, if Gunther buries that second triple attempt.
And he's right now upset with himself, but he got a steal and almost a chance to make it a 14-point game. And like you said, a good timeout because they aren't doing anything well right now in the start of this quarter, but they just got an advantage with the bucket. So they're like, okay, take the timeout while we have things to correct, and we just had a positive bucket.
Absolutely. Down 9. They know that they're teetering with it right now as the Irish just keep gaining confidence. The later we get into this contest, they've been here before. That's a familiar stage for this Ursuline squad.
They need another run here if you're the Lions. Another 5-0 run, 7-2, whatever. Get within 5-6 points the rest of this way, if not less. And you'll be within striking distance. You'll force a team to shoot free throws. You'll force a team to not turn it over against a trap that's worked pretty well. And right now, I wonder if you'll get any kind of different look defensively, at least from NDCL, because what you're doing defensively right now isn't exactly working, or it won't be good enough to finish this game off down the stretch.
Back out to this full court pressure that NDCL has applied most of the game, and it's been effective for the most part. Good job to break it.
Will underneath Miller, puts his shoulder, and they're going to call an offensive foul. And I'm not a fan of that call personally, Chris. Refs aren't perfect, but Miller, he didn't really lower his shoulder. He kind of went square into him, and they call the offensive foul.
I'm just going to weigh by the angle the official had there. He didn't hesitate with that call one bit, so that he must have lowered the shoulder that we couldn't have saw, and he went over and explained it to Coach Gunther.
Must have had something.
Yeah. They did a great job breaking that pressure to allow that opportunity, so they're doing a good job taking their time, doing what they need to do against this pressure defense by the Lions.
NDCL, keep for 3. He needs this. He gets it. 6-point game.
Keep. He has 10, and he's showing that he can hit that outside jumper as well.
Gunther's going to slow it down, gets it in the post to Payne. Payne faces up, he attacks. Payne, right hook again, gets it and the foul.
Wow, Payne, there was no doubt in his mind what he wanted to do with that ball as soon as he got it.
The
As
whole
he went
game.
right to the basket, and he just made them pay. He's a hard dribbler to stop
It's
just
hard.
by that frame.
And the whole game he's been able to get that ball and facing up and attack with the right hand at the basket, and it's been automatic. That one misses. Rebounded by, well, team rebound if you're talking about it for NDCL. It's out of bounds off the hands of Miller, but an 8-point Ursuline lead.
Payne has 15 in this game. Get this lead back to 8. Good pressure out here, even out of a zone. They're able to come out and challenge the basketball just because of the quickness of Will and Gunther.
Looking to kick it back to the top, nearly stolen. Keep has it. Keep throws it away. Payne gets to Gunther. Wide open three for Will in the corner. He slows it down. He's going to run this back out to the top of the key.
Good discipline right there, and the fans appreciate it as well. They're in no hurry, up 8. Have confidence in your defense because your defense is doing the job right now.
Luceni guarded right now by Lepowski. Will gets it. He's guarded by Keep. Luceni driving. Luceni open off the glass and good. Luceni makes it a 10-point game.
Big basket by Luceni as he has 18 and he's picking great times to score for Ursuline.
And off the foot of Lepowski, luckily in the hands of Tamburino, and Tamburino draws the foul on the acrobatic shot attempt. That's kind of the way it's been with these 50-50 balls today for NDCL. They find all of them.
They do, and it's just they're living and dying by that. Able to get to the line now for 2 crucial free throws.
Tamburino misses that one.
Plenty of time to go, 5:30 to go. You could say they're on the ropes, but they've been on the ropes 3 or 4 more times, this game, but they found a way to come back.
And you can't do that if you're Tamburino or any of the Lions. Missed 2 free throws, down 10 in the last quarter.
Absolutely not.
And they call out of bounds against Will. Said he was on the line.
The Lions are just 2 of 7 from the charity stripe so far. Tamburino's 1 of 4. So anytime they get the line, like you said, Tim, they just got to find a way to convert because those opportunities aren't just going to come that often.
Right now, Ursuline, a gamble by Miller. Off the glass, missed. Rebounded by, off of Payne. It's going to be NDCL basketball. And Miller gambled on the attempt. He thought he could get a steal. Instead, a wide open layup attempt that was contested at the last minute by Payne, and that resulted in a couple offensive rebound opportunities for the Lions.
Payne doing a great job getting physical inside here in the second half, really making NDCL work for the offensive rebound, something they didn't have to do in that first half.
Ball's thrown up. Tamburino mid-range. Floater, rims out. Off the glass, rebounded again. That one's blocked by Payne, out of bounds. Both Hernan brothers got an offensive rebound and missed the layup on that possession right there. But Ursuline hasn't been able to get any defensive rebounds, this possession. And an offensive foul will be Ursuline basketball.
Tough break right there. Bad timing for something like that. A mental breakdown for Brendan Hernan. And really, that's a turnover if you look at it on a foul like that at this point in the game, a 10-point game when you had possession. Really a costly one.
That ball was nearly stolen by Mangaluzzi.
Tough place to inbound the ball right here along the sidelines in a full court pressure. Luceni comes and bails him out. Will's going to take control.
Will gets it over to Luceni. It's a bounce pass over to Will. Will finds Payne. Payne underneath to Miller. Miller off the glass in, good. Unselfish play by Payne, and Ursuline now up 12.
I think Payne has set that up as many times as he's taken the ball to the basket. The defense collapsed on him, and he did a great job of finding that open teammate.
And they had no choice to collapse, and Payne got unselfish. Stolen away by Luceni. He read that like a book. Up, foul, almost got it to go. Place would have got blown off the roof if he would have made that. And this is, I believe, Ursuline's largest lead of the game. They were at 11 at one point, and 12 with this NDCL team doesn't seem like a whole lot just because of how quickly they've scrapped together some 6-7-0 runs recently.
I agree, but this is one of the few times we've seen the transition from defense. You know, we saw it in that second quarter that really got this crowd on their feet, and really we haven't seen it in the second half as much as Luceni finally gets a steal and gets an opportunity at the basket, something he just preys on. He's such a good athlete and a good guard, and a good free throw shooter as he has 20 points on the day.
And now a timeout by Ursuline gets this crowd on their feet. Up 14 is Ursuline with 4:16 away. Potential district championship, the first one since 2017. We'll find out if they can capture that when we return on your sports network. Back here in YSN, 4:15 and counting.
With just 4 minutes to go, Tim. This is a really crucial possession for NDCL because the Irish are feeling it right here. The fans feel it. They know the regional berth's in their sights.
And a nice shot right there from Tamburino. Kind of needed that one. You're down by 14, now it's 12. Need to string together multiple stops to keep this game within arm's length. And right now, they're one way to that. They got the bucket. They need to get a stop and keep doing those two things.
Irish are going to take their time here on offense. That's apparent.
They'll waste some clock until they get an open shot. Will gets it back out to Gunther.
Using those high screens from Miller and Payne right there at the elbow.
Gunther off the glass, misses.
Maybe got pushed from behind, and the official missed it right there.
Stripped by Will, and a foul called.
They want intentional, and I can understand.
Because Gunther was wide open at the other end for a wide open layup.
And I think that's what they're going to talk about. He grabbed him, really didn't go after the basketball. This could be intentional.
We'll see what they call. They're going to call common foul. And had Gunther not been at the other end of the court wide open, you might have got away with they did get away with something like that, but you definitely could have seen why they didn't call it. But Gunther was wide open for an easy 2 points.
A lot of officials were refrained from calling it, and really that's a tough call as he didn't really make any attempt to go for the basketball.
Double team. Miller picks it up. Gets it back over to Will.
Good discipline by Miller. Really nobody between him and the basket there, and he elected to throw it back out to Will as we had 3 minutes to go.
Shoot some clock. They're now swarming, and a foul called on Tamburino. That's the 5th team foul, so Luceni will shoot 2. To add to his game-high 20 points right now. He's been playing with 3 fouls this whole half and hasn't got one yet.
Absolutely.
He'll probably get one next possession now that I said that, but nonetheless.
There's no doubt. You know, I talked about it. This Irish team, good test right here today. Really testing their will and determination. They haven't been challenged yet. And to have this challenge by NDCL really could be a stepping stone for this team moving forward in the postseason.
They got the winner of Clevelandville, Angela St. Joseph, and Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. And both teams aren't any joke right there. 3 on the way, off the top of the backboard, rebounded by Luceni. And Luceni gets it into Will. Will gets it over to Luceni. Luceni finds Gunther. Gunther's going to slow this one down a little bit.
Irish are in the bonus, so every foul moving forward. They're going to go to the line for 2. Great situation here.
Just sulking it away. Luceni has it. Miller back to Luceni. And Will's going to hold this. There's not going to be any rush. Luceni has it. Miller gets it back over to Gunther. And thrown away.
A little bit of miscommunication, I think, right there. Did a great job of milking the clock. Took about 30 seconds off the clock, really, and just a miscommunication between teammates there led to that turnover.
This is going to be the longest 2 minutes of anyone's lives right here. Even though it's a 14-point game, it's a season on the line for both teams. So, of course, NDCL is going to come out pressuring, and they'll probably foul a whole lot.
Trip to Canton on the line next Thursday in the regional semifinal.
And Keep misses, rebounded by Payne. Payne's fouled. He'll go to the line. And Ursuline can taste it now under 2 minutes. 14-point lead. And it just hasn't been enough for NDCL. All the effort they put on that offensive glass in the first half, and all the shots they were making, they just couldn't get the stops when they needed, and they couldn't get the buckets when they needed to.
Yeah, and that's the key, Tim. They just haven't gotten the offensive output when they needed it here in the second half. And it's a good testament to this Irish defense. It really put the squeeze on them. They went to that 2-3 zone, which I think really screwed with NDCL's flow on offense. So I think that pressure out top caused a lot of problems that the guards for Ursuline have been giving this Lions team.
And the Lions were able to get this within 2 points in the third quarter, but they didn't make a three-pointer or two-pointer when they could have tied the game up or taken the lead. And that's kind of been the story, is the clutch shots, the clutch stops. That ball was nearly stolen away, and they're going to call a foul on Will.
It's a hustle foul, really.
He's trying to go for the ball, and he got bodies tangled up.
It's going to be the fourth team foul on the Irish. Just 1:35 to go. I said it before the game. This Lions squad missing their leading scorer as well. So just put that in perspective, what this team's been able to do today.
What this game could have been, it would have been even more fun than it has been.
Yeah.
Underneath, three-pointer, Keep, gotta have it, misses it, rebounded by Keep. Hernan trying to drive, Hernan off the glass, missed, rebounded by Payne.
Those are the kind of shots that went for them in the first half, just not going here in half number 2. These two teams are not going to go away after this season. You know, they're going to be around for a while. A lot of youth on both squads.
And a hard foul there on Lepowski. That's his 5th foul. He'll foul out of the game. Don't think it was intentional to foul him that hard. He was just trying to intentionally foul him from dunking the ball, and he took him out on accident because Payne put the ball on the floor and went low, and he kind of clotheslined him. Couple players checking back in. Nolan Dumermuth and then Braden Buell checking in for the Lions, emptying the bench for them. Payne's first free throw is good.
Payne done a great job from the line today.
He's converting most of his shots, and it's a big man who's getting fouled as much as he does.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Absolutely.
And that one is good. Gets them both. 17-point lead. And now if you're NDCL, do you kind of pull off the reins a little bit? It's unlikely if you keep missing your shots. Maybe if you make them, you keep going at it, but if you miss a shot, Nursing gets a rebound. Do you keep pressuring?
And I think they do, but I'm going to flip the script here. Is how long before Coach Gunther starts thinking about take some of these guys out? You know, you always have the risk for injury. Something stupid could happen at this point in some of these basketball games.
You're seeing Marlowe about to check in, and a couple of
read my mind.
Guys for Ursuline checking in as well. 3 on the way from Dumermuth. Rebounded by Gunther, and they're going to pressure a little bit. They're going to strip Gunther. They're going to actually call a jump ball, and it will be Ursuline basketball with 51 seconds remaining. A lot of the JV guys coming in, and Ursuline seniors getting their round of applause that they've worked so hard for. They are just 51 seconds away from a district crown.
Both sides appreciative of their lineups as we have players from each side coming off the floor. So always good to see from each side, just appreciating the effort of their kids.
Cardo's about to inbound the ball, gets it into Gunther. Gunther gets called for the travel.
Yeah.
Gunther's like, I didn't even have the ball, but the ref thought he did for long enough.
This is a great win for Ursuline, really it is.
Gritty win.
Absolutely, that's the best word is gritty. We got a double dribble.
I think double dribble. There was either a double dribble or a travel there, Chris. There couldn't have been
Pick
nothing.
One. And I like that. It's a gritty win. You're right, and it's just a good win, a good team effort from this team, and they got big buckets when they needed it from multiple people.
And think about it, if Ursuline doesn't get bodied on the glass in the first half, might win this game by near 30 points.
Absolutely. So you can see where one facet of the game, if you don't step up and just take control of that facet of the game, it can come back to haunt you.
And luckily, for Ursuline, it didn't affect them enough. it might have turned a 15 whatever point win into a 30-point win or whatever, but it didn't affect them from losing or winning the game. And Ursuline 28 seconds away.
Going to head to Canton next Thursday, 6 o'clock for a regional semifinal. First time since 2017.
Ursuline's going to hold this ball, and you might see these JV players take a shot if they're wide open. But
I wouldn't blame them if they did.
Oh, not at all. So he scored a bucket in the district championship game.
Absolutely.
Like right there, underneath. Nice pass, missed the layup. Rebounded, pushed it ahead. 10 seconds and counting. Trying to drive, kicks it back. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. And for the first time since 2017, Ursuline is on top. The basketball world as district champions. Coach Gunther gets his 8th district title as a coach, and the Irish will move on to face the winner of Cleveland Villa Angela St. Joseph and Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. A 61-44 win, and Ursuline is our district champions once again.
Just a